Hey everybody, this is Robert, the Red Prince, and today we're going to be doing a Redneck review of Iron Man number 32. And, sorry, one sec. And, right here today, as you know, this one is done by Gillian and Bennett. Gillian is the writer, Bennett's the artist, obviously, and, today, like I said, this is the end of the Iron Metropolitan storyline. And, just so everyone is on the recap, this is a story about Tony Stark trying to rebuild the Mandarin City, trying to turn it into a place for new beginnings and startovers, instead of, remembering it as a horrible dictator's, stronghold. And as he's done this, the Mandarin's rings have returned to, well, first off, we find out that the Mandarin's rings were always sentient. They could always do as they pleased, and now they're out to take revenge for their beloved master and to just make Tony Stark's life a living miserable hell. Alright, well, also in the last issue we found out that 3 of the new Mandarins had plans to attack Tony's home central office in Mandarin City, known as Troy, where he managed to take over, it's being run by his newly found brother, who is basically a cripple in a can, and is just unable to get out of the building quickly enough for these missiles are coming right at it. Alright, well, we start off in Troy, where we see Iron Man, the only good Mandarin, the Red Pearl, fighting against Lord Rainmaker and the Exile. Basically, they're all trying to find common. Iron Man, Red Pearl, trying to save the people of this city. And we go to this next page where it is just Iron Man, Red Pearl, his Legion, the Iron
More
Legion.
than 12 million families struggle with hunger in America.
And them just trying to go and attack, just bring down the 2 remaining Mandarins. So all of a sudden Red Pearl yells out to him, "Did everyone in your headquarters get out? That evil corporate Oedipus, you mean?" "Yeah." He goes, "That's the one," she says. "Yeah, I think so." And and he goes, "There was one guy, a guy called Arno." He goes, "So that suit can turn invisible, can it? Can it fight?" "No." "Great. Did you do any research at all?" "It's a modular armor." So maybe he can add stuff to it, turn it around. So basically he switched his armor around and basically created a brand new attack mode. I can mix and match. "Still outnumbered, your killer drones seem a little on the crap side, Iron Man. With the core down, they're being controlled from my main AI, Helen. She's off-site. A little lag plus local data gathering in the core is gone. Don't worry, Tony. I've got that covered." All of a sudden, this voice comes out here. This voice going, "Don't worry, Tony. I've got that covered." We think, who could it be? Could it be Pepper? Could it be Rhodey? No, it's Arno with his own gigantic Hulkbuster-like armor. He goes, "Sorry for the scare, Tony." "Arno, you're alive! Thank God! How?" "Decided that it was time to test a prototype I've been working on. Better than any instant death, I thought." "I thought you didn't want a suit." "No, Tony, I didn't want you to make me a suit." So we see Arno here in this big hulking Iron Man. I mean, this makes the Hulkbuster look like a little tin can. So he was point taken. "When are you going to make a debut here?" He could do with the help. "Just aligning the drones. This is kind of a supervisor suit. They've been underperforming so far due to the lack of individual sensors. Without the Troy core to guide them, the Trojan Guard are virtually blind. Thankfully, my suit sees in 20/20 vision." Bang, bang, bang. Oh, this is awesome. So Arno and the Iron Legion are taking down, bringing it back to Lord Rainmaker and the Exile, the ones who can the Deceiver Ring and the Rainmaker. This isn't working. They've got reinforcements, the exile says. Enough, exile. Scorched earth policy. I've 6 more bombs to launch. I'll leave Mandarin City a smoking hole. Let Stark rule that. Slow them down. I may not be able to recover my city, but we can both have our revenge. And Lord Remaker jumps away to this building where he's going to launch the Remaker bombs. He goes, "Welcome back, Lord Remaker." And who the heck? All of a sudden, this voice comes up and says, "Welcome back, Lord Remaker." And his hand comes out here and tells it, all of a sudden scares Lord Remaker. He's like, who's there? He's probably thinking it's the exile, trying to tell him, why are you where I not told you to be? And all of a sudden we see this hand come out of this portal with the star ring that says, "Shush, mortal." So all of a sudden we have, then the page cuts back to Iron Man Red Pearl, where he goes, "We need to get ringleaders before they teleport. My ring can locate them if they do. Try and bring down the Emperor of Imo. I'll get Lord Remaker." Ring says he's retreated to his base. So we see them on here, and they're trying to get all the ring lords together. Iron Man goes after Exile. He goes, "So we can hunt the rings down. Thank the skies for magic rings and turncoats." Red Pearl goes after Lord Remaker, obviously, like she said, and she goes, "Haven't changed sides. I've changed allies for now. These two don't deserve rings. Others probably do." He goes, short, dark, and mopey is gone. Any luck with Lord Remaker?" She goes, "Yeah, found him." And she finds him in a pretty disgusting state. He's been decapitated by some debris, and she goes up and goes, "No ring though. This is..." All of a sudden we hear that voice again. Red Pearl goes, "Hello," and she yells out, "Back the and this blade comes out of nowhere. I remember reading this and I was like, what is going on? And the blade comes out of nowhere and just takes off both of her hands. Obviously she yells so loud through the comms that Iron Man hears it. He yells out, "Abigail," or Red Pearl, whatever her name is. And he goes, "You better have a hospital in this city of the future, Stark." And basically, he, even though she was the main protagonist of this series, the main antagonist of this new metropolitan area, he takes her to the hospital. He goes, "Abigail, I know you may not be at your best. I know Mark and the Argo Syndicalist, a right-nosed Syndicist, not an idiot, of course. I need to talk. Thank you, and I'm sorry, I really am. Don't patronize me. Least evil of the evil X's interview as time goes. Who took the ring? I don't know. He was so quick, my time dilation power, it just didn't work. Plus, I was busy working on my dull fire hose impression. Explain the rings. Anything you can tell us, anything at all." He's trying to get information on what the rings are doing. So he's trying to talk with her, trying to patch her up, even though I wouldn't have. She just caused so much trouble. And she's a terrorist. That's all you can get out of her, is she's a terrorist. He goes, "I don't know." He goes, "They just want to cause chaos and destabilize Earth, and they despise you. They'll put themselves on anyone's hand who's against the status quo, fascist or fundamentalist, Marxists or monarchist, anyone. They just need to hate you. The rings just need to know they cause you trouble." "How did you find out?" "I asked them. They told me the rings think knowing the score doesn't make any difference. They think anyone who wants power that badly won't care where it came from. They're right. They're the CIA in 1980s Afghanistan handing out weapons to bin Laden. Who cares as long as he fights the Soviets? Anyone who's your enemy is their friend. Wearing one, it messes you up. I'm not that violent, I swear. It's like being drunk on power. In short, there are 10 rings from the stars that want nothing better than to turn anything you make into dust, Tony Stark." So she's telling him, this is what's going on. She goes, "I probably would never have gone to the lengths I did, but because these rings were on me, they made me go this far. And he goes, and he basically Tony gave me the idea of the horror that he's facing. He tells her, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be so rough with you. If I'd known this, I would have kept going. And he says to her, I'll try to find a way to help you. She goes, no, I'm not going to take any of your charity. He goes, if people in third world countries can't have robotic arms, neither can I. And she's just laying the score down to him that she doesn't want any of his charity or whatnot. But he tells her, he goes, the city is great, Stark. I love the city. You're the problem. Mark, get a press conference together. He tells his publicist after this. He tells him what's going on. He goes, I need to make a change. He goes, to this new city I've built. He goes, it's not to announce I'm actually the least evil of Abigail's exes. And Tony Stark calls a press conference right at Troy and tells them, thanks for coming on such short notice and all that. I tried running a city. Frankly, it's tedious. I'm a superhero, not a planner. I quit. That's all Mr. Stark has to say at present. This plan for the future of Troy and its new custodian, the radical new designer, Arno, are in your press packets. And any questions? His publicist doesn't. And the cool thing is Abigail Brent has managed to recover to get here, and she yells out to him, so Mr. Stark, how does it feel to be humiliated? My voice is a little messed up there, I don't know why. Is humiliated on the world stage? Or are you glad to finally be exposed as the failure you are? He tells, and Tony, as he's walking away, looks at her and says, I bet it feels better than having your hands cut off while you're drunk on evil space rings, Abigail. Bored now, Mark. Finish up here. Alright. So, basically, Tony's given up control of Troy, the city he just built, and fought so hard for. And he's basically telling him that, hey, I'm handing this over to a new radical designer. He doesn't mention that it's his brother. He doesn't even mention that this guy is in an iron suit. He just mentions that, hey, I'm giving up control. And people are still not happy with Tony Stark. He goes, and later on, Tony meets with Arno in his new suit. You can't really see it because it's pixelated. I've got to stop this moving around stuff. But anyway, I know this is hard, but you have to go. The ruse isn't going to work otherwise. I know, Arno. I just wanted to have one last look. We've made a city that grows its own sewer system. Crappy water and poor urban hygiene are bigger threats than Dr. Doom could dream of. Every day, Troy stands. Lives are being saved. You're still saving lives. It's not about me. Arno says, don't pretend it doesn't hurt. More than anyone, I know how hard it is having to step back from the world. I'm an engineer, Arno. Making a city is just like designing a battlesuit. If there's a design weakness, we prove it. We remove it. And here he goes. So Tony says, the one problem with this place was me. My enemies came here and ruined stuff for everyone. I'm the problem. So Tony goes back to his Stark mansion. He goes, it's not like I haven't got other things I should be thinking about. Open the vault, Helen. He goes, it's your finest hour, he tells her. And he's going through his stuff. He's getting ready to go grab a beer and celebrate. Which, if you've ever read your Iron Man comics, you know this is not a good sign. Tony is a bad alcoholic. This tracking thing is really making me mad. And not sure this is a good idea. Last bottle of the Stark Vintage, bought from Howard's Vineyard, the summer I was born. And what's cool about this is, even though he knows his weaknesses, you think he's getting ready to go and drink this whole bottle after everything he's gone through, and he breaks it. He breaks it over the side of his mansion. You can't really see it because it's pixelated. He goes, "I'm almost grateful to the Mandarin, Helen. Forget building. I'm in the mood to hit things. I just need to find them." And now we have to find. Now the story switches again to those familiar hands that we saw in the ones that took the exile, Red Pearl and Lord Rainmaker's ring, and there are these two blue hands. He goes, 1, 2, 3, but something's missing. 7 somethings, methinks. And who was the one that cut off the rings? It was Malekith the Accursed, the newly crowned king of Sparkleheim, after the recent Thor story. He goes, and Malekith the Accursed desires to set. And just how twisted, Tony has never faced Malekith before to my knowledge. And now to see just how twisted this guy is, if he's going to be the new Manor, he's got Abigail's hands hanging off the side of his neck, wrapped together, which is what they would do in the old northern days. He yells out, and Malekith the Accursed desires them all. So Malekith the Accursed is setting out to be the new Manor. I love this part. Alright guys, well that's Iron Man number 22. I just wanted to give you this last little bit. I know I haven't been doing a lot of videos lately, but let's just say for the sake of argument, let's give this one a 5 for the story, for this part of the story, and a 4.75 for the art, because there were a couple ads of stuff in here. Not the best, but certainly not the worst comic I've ever read. For the overall Metropolitan arc, I'm going to give it a 4 altogether, because it had its ups and its lows in the story arc. And all in all, not a bad comic altogether. It's a $3.99 book. That's the only real drawback to it. I would highly recommend you pick it up if you're an Iron Man fan. If you're not interested in paying $3.99, then don't pick it up. Alright guys, well, that's your Redneck review from Robert the Red Prince. And leave us some comments down below. Let us know what you're thinking. If you like us or you don't. Thank you so much again, and God bless you.